Hello friends! I'm doing something a little bit different and weird this time, and hopefully it works out because my editing software does not like overlaying video on top of video, but we'll see what I can get to work. But I figured I do a lot of videos lately on Korean figures, and I talk a lot about getting them off of sites like GMarket and stuff like that, but I never actually explain the process. So what I wanted to do was explain what it's like to use GMarket and sort of give anybody who might be interested in importing figures like this some tips on how to actually use a site like GMarket. So as you can hopefully see, here is the screen for GMarkets. This is what the home screen looks like. If you want to check it out, there's going to be a link down in the description for the actual URL, and also here is the URL for GMarket's homepage so you can visit it yourself. Now, I don't know if you need to make an account in order to use it. You might. I've never tried without making an account, but making an account is, it's the same as everywhere else. It's very simple. You just enter in the information, get the verification email, that kind of thing. I would recommend setting up an account though, because it just makes it easier for things like logging on to check order statuses and that kind of thing. So with all of that done, all that setup done, we're just going to get right into it. So yes, here from the homepage of GMarket, you can see just kind of what it looks like. I found the easiest way to find these things is just through a search, not through going through like the different categories or anything, just going up to the search bar right up here and typing in what you want to look for. Now there are a couple of different ways to go about this. You can potentially try and look up the name of a specific figure and run it through Google Translate to try and get what the Korean text would look like for that name. I wouldn't necessarily recommend using the Korean text search option because a lot of the listings on GMarket don't actually specify the figure name in the actual listing title. So instead I'd recommend just searching for like the general line that you're looking for, like Tobot, Hello Carbot, Mini Force, that kind of thing. Typically what I'll do when I'm searching for something, let's say I'm looking for a Tobot figure, just go up to the search bar, type in Tobot, and start the search. And now from here there are a couple of different options. I originally was doing a little bit more of a refinement of the search by clicking on toys and then clicking on robot character toys to kind of further narrow it down, because if you don't do that, you're going to get stuff like anything branded with Tobot. So like placemats, clothing, boots, I've seen boots, all that stuff's going to show up if you don't refine the search like that. But the problem is, not everything that is a figure that you might be looking for is going to be categorized like that. It does remove the placemats and stuff like that, but it also will remove some of the actual toys that you might be searching for. So we're just going to restart the search, not choose any categories, and instead we're just going to go with kind of the basic search options. So just typed in Tobot to search, and now the important thing you want to do is you want to click here where it says international shipping. Because what that does is it removes all of the listings that are for domestic delivery only. It doesn't guarantee that the stuff you're looking at will be delivered to your country, but it will remove any options that are like only domestic for Korea. So yeah, we want to click international shipping, and then from here you can change how you organize the list. I just go with newly listed because I'm usually checking to see what new stuff has come out. And from here we can just scroll down and see what there is. And we can already see a lot of things, including underwear and metal TV trays for some reason. And see, this is why I was refining my search before, but again, as I said, if you do that, then some of these figure listings aren't going to show up either. So this gives you the best chance to find everything. Now from here, it's basically just look around. It's a little time consuming to have to dig through all these listings because you can't really organize them by character or anything like that. But essentially you just want to scroll down the list and find one or two figures that you want to look for and just shop around basically. So here, for example, we can see they've got Tobot v Wild Chief listed for $84. That's a lot. I mean, it's not too bad compared to a lot of like the eBay import prices and stuff like that, but for GMarket, that's pretty up there, so we're just going to keep scrolling. I found that for these figures, like the newer Tobot V stuff, like around $40 is actually a more reasonable price. Like, actually, for example, right here, we've got Airhide, $31. That's a great price. So now for the other trick that I've picked up on, because as I said, checking off international shipping does not guarantee that they will ship to your country. So what you want to do is basically verify that. So I'm going to open up this listing in another tab, which GMarket will automatically boot you to. And from here, no, I do not need a translation, thank you. And from here, you get the listing page. Now, I've actually bought a lot of stuff from Global HMall, so I do recommend them as a seller, though I have noticed that some of their listings no longer ship to the US, so that could be a sticking point. But anyway, from here, what you want to do is sometimes with listings, you have to select the toy you want. And it's weird because there's only one toy in the listing, but you still have to do it. So we're going to open this up and select the correct figure, which is the only figure there. And then we're going to add to cart. And the reason we want to add to cart is because this will help us verify whether or not we can actually buy this thing. So now we're going to go to cart, and once the shopping cart loads up, we can see that, okay, we're in the clear, we can actually get this figure. Because sometimes, right around here in the item description, there will be some red text that says this does not ship to your country. So that's why you want to double check. So we're just going to keep searching just for the fun of it. Here we've got a bundle that they've put together actually for the Master V set. I believe it's all the figures. They just come packaged together. And so here we can see that it is not from Global HMall. It's a different seller. That doesn't mean that it's bad, just that it's not from a seller that I'm necessarily familiar with. But here we can see the price for the overall set, $140. Not terrible for all of the stuff that it comes with, because it is the core Master V set plus 3 more figures, so that's fine. And there is this little box down here that says shipping may be delayed, because if you notice, shipping will start on December 29th. That means it's not going to ship today if you order it, which, you know, obviously not a huge deal. Also, yes, I'm totally dating when I'm recording this. But if we want to get it, add it to cart, and you can see here it does not have the select an item option, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're just going to add to cart and go to check the cart again, because I want to see if I can find something that does the, oh, yep, here we go. This item cannot be shipped to the selected country. So even though that is marked for international shipping, it will not ship to the US specifically. So in that case, we're just going to remove it from the cart. So let's change things up, and let's take a look at mini-force things, because we don't need to be checking out Tobots for this entire video, right? So we're going to search for mini-force and make sure international shipping is checked off. And then sort by newly listed again. So now that we're looking at mini-force stuff, let us find a thing to try and hunt down. So here we go. Triga. Going to open that up, but I'm just going to leave that tab open and keep scrolling. So first off, we can see Triga is $69.48. That's a pretty darn good price for that set. So we're just going to keep scrolling until we find more listings for Triga. Okay, so I found a few different listings for Triga, one at $69.48, another at $69.36, and then a third one at $55.49 from Global HMall 2 of all things. So yeah, $55.49, that's a really, really good price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of these to my cart. And there's a reason for that. Now we're going to go to cart, because inevitably, at least some of these are going to be, oh, we can't ship this to your country. So by selecting multiples within about the same price range, I can essentially narrow it down. So as you can see, the first one for $69.47 does not ship to the US, so we can remove that from the cart. But the one that's $69.35 and the one that's $55.48 does ship to the US, so we can just eliminate the one that's more expensive, and now we've got the more affordable option for Triga sitting in our cart for a much more reasonable price. Now the way the rest of these listings break down, we can see they're coming from 2 different stores, though technically I think they're the same store. It's Global HMall, Global HMall 2. What'll happen is each store will send the items domestically to GMarket's kind of centralized shipping center. From there, GMarket will take all of the items that have come in from the various shops And if you order everything at once, they will wait for everything to come in. They're not going to like ship stuff out separately. But essentially, when all of the items that you've purchased are domestically shipped and arrive at GMarket's shipping center, they'll box everything up together and then ship that out. So depending on the way that the listings are set up, you may have to pay for the domestic shipping in addition to the international shipping. But the domestic shipping is practically who cares levels of cost. Like looking at the domestic shipping for Airhide, it's the equivalent of $2. And then we can see for the Mini Force Triga listing, there is no domestic shipping fee, so that's nice. But there is still the international shipping, and that we see on the side here where it puts everything together, because at least as far as US shipping goes, the only option is DHL. There are no other shipping methods you can select with GMarket when shipping to the US that I've seen. On the plus side though, they're like scarily fast. Like I've ordered stuff from GMarket that has arrived like 4 days later. So if we want to check the international shipping, that is right down here. If we zoom in, you can see that the domestic shipping is $2.16 because of Airhide, and then the international DHL shipping is $30.91. So shipping in total costs $33.08, and that gets added on to the total for the items, and there we've got the total for the order. But a cool thing about GMarket, in addition to the prices actually being pretty reasonable, because let's be honest, $119, like that's what you might pay for just Triga off of like eBay or Amazon, if you're lucky. But in addition to the prices being pretty great even with the DHL shipping, you also get coupons fairly often, and especially around this time of year. So we're going to go to Event Coupon and see what we've got. Now from the GMarket Global page for coupons, you can scroll down and there will be like special coupons down here. These specifically apply to beauty and fashion in this case, so those will not apply to toys. But if we scroll down further, you can see that there are additional discounts, like 10% off, holiday coupons. These are all worth checking out. So if you want to use them, if you're logged in, you download, and it should add the coupons to your, copy your coupon box, added the box. And so now we've got those coupons added to our sort of on-site coupon book. So with all those coupons downloaded and set up, we're going to try and apply them. Of course, we're going to start with the most expensive one, which is Triga. So we want to do Apply Coupon, and that will pull up a list of all the available coupons that you have that can be used on this purchase. That's one of the nice things about the way they do coupons here. If you have a coupon that is not valid on an item, it will not appear in your list when you try to apply it to that item. So here we can see we can get 10,000 won off, so we'll use that. And this says coupons only for international shipping and not applicable to domestic shipping in Korea, which that's fine because we're ordering internationally. And here we can see that has taken 10,000 won off the order. So Triga has gone from $55 down to $46. And we can also apply a coupon to Airhide. So we're going to use the next best one, which is the 3,000 won coupon. Apply that, and that shaves a couple bucks off of Airhide. So now you can see on the side here, the total for the order has gone from about $119 down to $108. So that has effectively shaved about a third off the shipping price. I think I paid more than that for Triga when I initially got it myself, so that's really good. From there, you can proceed to the checkout, enter in all your shipping information, all that stuff. When you pay, I don't know what the rules are for other countries. I only know what it is for the US, but as far as US purchases go, you cannot use PayPal. You have to use a credit or debit card. It won't let you use PayPal for US orders on GMarket, unfortunately, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's easy enough to work around. It's just a little bit inconvenient. But yeah, you just set all that up, you place your order, and then depending on the shop you order from, it might take a day or two, but your stuff will get domestically shipped to GMarket's shipping center. Then everything will go in and start getting shipped out. And that is how you use GMarket. It is actually very straightforward once you kind of get a feel for it. It's just, more than anything, kind of meticulously searching through all of those results that you really can't narrow down too well. But if you know how to work it, you can get some really good prices on this stuff. You do have to pay more for shipping, like $15, $20, $30, possibly even up to $40 or $50 for shipping, depending on how big and heavy these things are. But you can usually use a lot of coupons to bring the costs down. And in addition to that, it's still cheaper than if you're getting it off of Amazon or eBay most of the time, like by a not insignificant amount. For anyone who's been interested in getting into Tobots, Hellocarbots, Miniforce, and any of these kinds of toys, or has been trying to find a way to get them for a little bit less, I hope this has been helpful. For anyone who's not interested, well, I hope this has been informative. If you like this video enough that you want to support the channel in addition to watching the video in the first place, there is also a Patreon that I've got going. There's just a $1 tier. It's the only tier that there is. That gets you early access to some videos, access to the occasional behind-the-scenes posts that I'll make sometimes, and eventually, when I get enough people as patrons, I'm going to start doing polls so you can have a little bit of input on what happens with the channel in the future. There is going to be a link for that in the description as well as at the end part of the video. But with all of that out of the way, thank you everybody for watching. Again, I hope this has been helpful or at least informative, and I will see you all next time.